right, welcome back. We are observing now at nighttime, same day, August 14th, and the time now is, if I can bring this up and show you, it is 21:55, so just before 10 o'clock at night. We are back using Stellarium on my iPad, standing in my room in my house, looking like a crazy person. But we are facing south, and you may notice, quite obviously, that the Milky Way is stretching magnificently from south across the sky, arcing back up towards the north, right? Normally, you would not be able to see it in that much detail with the naked eye, especially from Fresno, but that's why Stellarium is nice. All right, so let's take a look at the constellations visible in the sky right now at nighttime. So, facing south, due south, we have the constellation Sagittarius, the Archer. The brightest stars in that constellation, though, are right there. And I actually think of Sagittarius as a teapot. And kind of looks like a teapot right there. There's the spout on the right side, the lid on top, and the handle on the left side. So whenever you see Sagittarius, you know you're looking to the south, right? Sagittarius is a constellation that's above observers' heads when they're located in the southern latitudes on Earth, right? So whenever you're looking towards that constellation, you're looking actually towards the center of the Milky Way, right? Which is just in there, right? Somewhere in there is the center of our galaxy. Just to the west of Sagittarius, we have Scorpio, the Scorpion, right? The brightest star in Scorpio is Antares, or in other words, Alpha Scorpio. The constellation is Scorpius, there we go. The star name is Alpha Scorpio, right? And so that kind of looks like a scorpion if you use your imagination. Actually, those two are zodiac constellations because you notice the orange or red ecliptic line passing very nearby them. If we continue west past Scorpius, we can see Libra, the scales, and hey, there's Virgo. You might remember Virgo and Bootes, and actually Coma Berenices as constellations from the video earlier when we observed it in the daytime, but those constellations were higher up in the sky. But now, several hours later, about 7 hours later, those constellations have had time to set in the west. So now they're over here. All right? So, facing west, we have the Bootes, right? The herdsman. The brightest star in Bootes is Arcturus. That's an orange supergiant, even though it doesn't look orange in this view. It is. Above the Bootes, we have Hercules, the strong man, right? Then we have Ophiuchus, I believe that's the serpent bearer. I think that's Ophiuchus, if they say so. It looks like that. Let's see, turning back, we have, now, let's look straight up. The bright star very near the zenith is Vega, right? The brightest star in the constellation Lyra, the Lyre, right? So you might call Vega by another name, and it could be Alpha Lyrae, right? And so Vega, and then that bright star right there, straight ahead, Altair, and Deneb, those three stars form the summer triangle. And if you were to walk outside in Fresno, maybe, or especially outside Fresno, and look up on summer nights, these three stars would be very bright and very prominent. So that's why those three are known as the summer triangle. And they're comprised of the constellations Lyra, Aquila, the eagle, and then Cygnus, the swan. And whenever you see Cygnus, you know that its great long neck running, well, from left to right here, stretches and points along the plane of the Milky Way, right? And then the swan's wings are, say, up and down, right? So Cygnus is a very prominent constellation, especially in the summertime. If you can see that, you're looking towards the Milky Way and through the plane of our galaxy. All right, enough looking up. My neck hurts. Okay, let's see. There's south. Let's turn towards the east. Right there we have Capricornus, right, the goat. Turning more, we have Aquarius, the water carrier. Turning more, now we have Pegasus and Andromeda. In this orientation, Pegasus is a little tough to see, but Pegasus is known as the winged horse. And in some drawings, like in your book, The Stars, that giant square is the horse's wings. So it's a great winged horse in some drawings. Keep turning. What else do we have? Mention Cygnus. We have, I'm not going to necessarily worry about those smaller constellations. We can hardly see those anyway. We have Pisces, the fishes, right? Pisces is, well, it kind of looks like a fish, I guess so. Maybe. All right. So, and again, constellations like Hercules, Ophiuchus, Aquila, Cygnus, Lyra, even Pegasus a little bit, are known as summer constellations, right? More so these guys right there. Cygnus, Lyra, Aquila, Ophiuchus, Hercules, those are the major summer constellations because they're in the sky at nighttime during the summer, right? And so the constellations that are setting in the west are generally more the spring constellations because a couple months ago, these guys were straight up here. And a couple months in the future, the constellations that are on the eastern horizon will be up there, right? And again, that happens because Earth is revolving or orbiting around the sun. And so we're simply turning around and facing a new part of space. So finally, let's turn around north. If you remember from the previous video, the constellations now have completely switched orientations. Cepheus was down very close to the horizon. Now he's up in the northeast. Draco was down in the northeast. Now he's up in the northwest, right? But again, they're still circumpolar. They're still towards the pole. And I have actually the horizon grid system on, so let's change that to right ascension declination, the equatorial grid. Now we can see where the north celestial pole is, right? And actually, this is a better view of Ursa Major, the Great Bear, right? So on the left side, the handle of those bright seven stars, the handle of the Big Dipper, is the asterism inside Ursa Major, right? And so some people think of that as the tail of the bear and its head on the right side. Some people think of that as the bear's head and its tail over here, whichever you want. There's no right or wrong answer, okay? Let's see. The stars on the right side of the Big Dipper, right there, right? Dubhe and Merak, yeah, those are known as the pointer stars because they quite literally point to the North Star, right? So anytime you see the Big Dipper, which you can see from Fresno, by the way, if you see the pointer stars, you know which way and which direction is north, okay? And so another kind of the memory aid that I know, that my dad taught me actually, was as soon as you find the Big Dipper, you can follow the handle and you can arc to Arcturus. And then you can speed on to Spica. And Spica was just there in Virgo, but it just barely set. So again, that memory aid was arc to Arcturus, and then speed to Spica. Right? So, yeah, those are some of the prominent constellations in the summertime. Hopefully, after watching the previous video of the constellations during the daytime, you can see how they've changed a little bit. All right, thanks for watching.